Well, another day, guys. We are back at it, hitting the ground running. I am going through all of this rat's nest wiring, just like the last video, pretty much cleaning everything up. As you guys can see, it's starting to look better already. I've taken this charge pipe off. The previous owner is a raging idiot. He just painted everything while it was just on the car, sitting here. The intercooler pipes, the boots, the blow-off valve. I mean, you guys have already seen it in the videos and pictures. So I've also got that one off. It's primer white right now. I think I'm probably gonna do my nice touch with my gold and keep on getting at them. I'm gonna do the other boost pipe, and then I'll probably do this intercooler and bash bar black and stuff. I don't know why he did this stuff. Oh man. So got most of the wires pulled back and everything that is like a necessity. This is from the starter here. This is for my oil pressure. There's one more running along here, and it seems to be for my water temp sensor here. I'd really like to get a new one and a new water temp gauge, because that's kind of important. And this one, it seems like it's only getting up to 150 degrees, and I don't know if that's the operating temperature for the motor. That seems pretty cool. I feel like 180, 190ish would be the optimal temperature. But I'm gonna run all these wires, fix everything up, and then I'll look at these gauges, and if they're too crappy, or if I don't get any response from them, I mean, like the tach works, the oil pressure works, the oil temp does not work, the water temperature, like I just said, and the boost works. So I might end up moving some gauges around, put them all on the front here so I can kind of read everything instead of it being all the way over there, and just put the non-functional gauges over there for now. I don't know. I've got so many ideas going on in my head, and I'd like to do some autometers. They're a little pricey. I might throw some good old glow shift on them. You never know. They'll do the job, and plus I can probably warranty them out or something if they end up failing. We'll have to see. I don't have anybody helping me film today, which is kind of frustrating, so sadly enough, you'll be back on the tripod, and I'll do a few time lapses for you guys. But other than that, I'm going to get to work, and I'll check in with you guys periodically. Hey y'all, today I'm busting nuts garage. We're going to teach you how to wire up some freaking gauges. First thing you do, get you some gauges from eBay, Pep Boys, AutoZone, somewhere where they work great. Shoot, even glow shift. Alright, now that you got your gauges, take your wires, twist them up, and then just slide your electrical tape over them, okay? Once you're done twisting your wires together, shove them through your firewall. Just like so. Just shove them in there. And don't forget to shove your cluster of wires in there also, for all of your unwired accessories. Just run them through and shove them everywhere. It doesn't matter where, just shove them everywhere. Yes. So after several hours, finally I have some gauges that are wired properly. They look decent, and they're not going to be moving all over the place like they were before. This is what I was dealing with before. This is like the main power that was coming off of my power switch. This is the power switch right here. And pretty much he just like stripped back some of the insulator on the wire, and then just twisted wires together and then put electrical tape over it. That's what I've been dealing with. I wanted to save that to show you guys for an example. I've been going over all of that stuff and basically rewiring everything. This is constant power from the main harness right here. This is the main harness, and as you guys can see, the main harness is back there. I can't really beat that because that main harness is giving my car constant power. It's also running my tach. You can see that green wire that runs back here, and you can see it kind of sticking right there. That's wired into the factory harness, so the tachometer works, and it's obviously giving these guys power, so their lights work. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of break down for you really quick. This part of the harness is actually ran into this power switch. This power switch runs back all the way up to a fuse block, and the fuse block comes up to the starter button, and the starter button goes up to the starter, obviously. The only time that it works is when I put my battery switch in to connect the two prongs in there so that it gets a constant power from the battery back here. And then once the battery giving it power, I just flip the switch that gives power to the car, and then I hit the start button and it fires up. So I've got most of the looms all tucked up. You guys can see that it's all nice and neat. It runs down behind the dashboard, up underneath the dashboard, and I'm working my way in here. As you guys can see, I've kind of just stopped doing this so I can check in with you guys, give you a basic idea. We're gonna step out. Most of the rat's nest has been cleaned up. I know this wire is still sticking everywhere, but I just wanted to show you guys. This one is for my water temp right here. This is an inline water temp sensor. I've got this for my oil pressure. This one is that power wire that runs up to this block that I told you guys about. This is what's sending power back to that starter switch, and then right here is the starter wire, and this was the connection that sits on the starter. So far so good. I'm going to clean up a little bit more, start tucking it under here, and then I'll show you guys the final product once I get everything tucked in. The voltmeter gauge here and this oil temperature gauge, they are not going to work. They're pretty much just going to sit here for show. I'm probably going to order some glow shifts, like I said, just something cheap to get me by, and I might just grab a autometer tack, something a little more reliable. But I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to get back to work so I can finish this up before it gets a little too late, because the sun is starting to come down. So everything is going back together, guys. The charge pipes are in there. They are nice and golden and pretty. The rest of the motor's got to catch up with that, slowly but surely, one step at a time. But the good stuff has been knocked out. Here's the loom. It runs down into here, over to the fans, and then here's the loom that runs off the power block. It's this fresh black one, if you guys couldn't tell. It runs all the way back here, and then I've got it split off to where that rat's nest was. These two run down, one's to the starter, one's to the oil pressure sensor. Obviously this one right here comes up to that fuse block like I was saying, and then it's probed in right here to the water temperature sensor. Excuse me, I forgot to say that. And I'll show you under here. The loom is all tucked up, everything is cleaned up. It's cleaned up under here, and then if you were to turn the battery switch, hit the start button, make sure it's in neutral. There she is. And that's the exhaust you're hearing rattling against the cross member. It hits the cross member back there. I don't know why. It's the subframe. But it does that since I've knocked it off. Let me go on the other side, I'll show you guys. Much cleaner. I've got boost right here. This one works. This one doesn't. And obviously, like I said, that oil temperature is over here too. Fuel pump is working and engaging. Everything seems to be working just fine. She sure is ugly with those stock wheels on the back, but she's running good. Everything's working as it's supposed to. Man, I need to fix that freaking awful hood. It is the next morning, guys. I have my tires loaded up in the back of the Subaru. I had to take my girlfriend to work this morning, and I wasn't able to get down to the tire shop in time yesterday because of all the wiring. So we're gonna go knock that out, get some new tires on here, and then I'm also going to run over to Advance Auto, see what I can do about getting some valve cover gaskets, a water pump, and a lower radiator hose. Last night my radiator hose blew. Don't know why, it was just sitting there idling, so I'm gonna try to get that taken care of. While I'm there at Advanced Auto, I think I'm also gonna grab a thermostat, some paint to match the valve covers to all the charge pipes, and then some black paint for the front intercooler. Now, Black Friday is coming up, which is pretty exciting. Hopefully, Vivid and the bumper company that I want to get my bumper from, Vicrez, hopefully they will be doing a Black Friday sale or something to that extent. If they do, I'm going to be ordering my wrap, which is going to be metallic red. I've already got that picked out. I'm not fondling around on colors. Plus, it's a drift car. It's it's going to get thrashed up. I would just like to wrap it for the looks. Have that hot boy style while I'm, learning to drift and drifting in general. But anyways, I could talk about all those parts that I want to order for hours. Let's run up here and grab these parts, get these tires swapped out, and we'll go from there. Here in Advanced, I had to order some of my parts in. The water pump is going to be here the 27th, but the valve cover gaskets and the lower radiator hose will be here today at 10, so about 30 minutes or so. I'm gonna go get these swapped out, put some new tires on them, and then we'll come back and grab the rest of the parts. Oh, they got a little bit of camber wear. Oh, only a little bit of wire showing. Be alright. Just right on that side. Alright guys, we're all paid for. If you're wondering why I'm getting brand new tires mounted right now, it's because these are the tires that I'm going to daily on. Basically, so I feel a little bit safer driving on some brand new tires from point A to point B if I ever need to drive the car up to the store or just around locally. I have my girlfriend's car today, luckily, but she works 5 days a week and it's kind of a hassle when we trade off. I am looking for a Cummins. That is a process that is going on right now. I'm not trying to rush it. I'm trying to be patient, wait on a deal or something to come up, because everyone knows that the Cummins are expensive, and if you sit around and wait just a couple weeks, you might be able to come across a nice deal, an old man selling one. So if you guys are subscribed to the channel for the Cummins, don't worry, that stuff is coming. Just give me a little bit of time. I have the money for it. I just want to be able to buy the right one. There is a quad cab short box rolling, truck. I don't really know. It doesn't have a motor or a trans or a case in it, but it's got axles. It's got the PCM, the wiring, the whole 9 yards. It's just somebody used the motor for a swap. So it's originally a 2500 frame. It had a Cummins in it. I might just buy a P-pump 12 valve and a 5-speed trans, slap it in there, but that's up in the air, definitely up in the air. I want to be patient with this and try to get my hands on something that is somewhat decent to either daily drive or make another flip project so that I can buy something to daily drive. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to make this short and sweet. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, hit that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you're doing today, what you think of the video, anything that I can work on. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.